So we just saw how mask material works, and want to talk about a couple of things before we jump into the battle of textures. In this video, you will see how I created my materials layer by layer in a couple of different ways. Okay, um, in this way, you are going to be able to see my decisions over the design. Why I take this color, why I move with these breaks over the material, And if you are following my character, it's going to help you to understand how far I want to go and how far you can go to make something work as it is, with nothing special. Okay. If you're not following my design, it's also going to give you multiple examples of how to approach different materials. For example, if you are creating something more stylized and I'm going to create a blend with two plastic materials, you can use that knowledge to make a blend mask between, for example, two clothes, okay? And use that mask to have some kind of intersection between colors to blend your stylized design. And maybe you are doing a creature, and maybe you can use that mask to add some nice inner color in the skin to add more value to your textures. Okay, so I think everything can be used in different ways to help you on your character. Welcome to the plastic material video. Okay, so in this one, I created a couple of materials, okay, to show you some difference, okay, and how I approach these kind of materials. I use a base for one of them. The other one is done by scratch, so you can have different examples of material creation. Okay, so the first one is this one is pretty simple. I'm putting over all the chatter. We're going to apply our masks. Okay, so this one is just a plastic base, with some specific roughness over it. Okay, then just a couple of color variation masks. You know, you can put it or not put it. The dust to add variation on the roughness. All of this is done with the smart masks. Okay, and sorry, this one is for the roughness, and want to have more, even more variation over the roughness. Okay, so this one is simple, is kind of roughness material, but in some parts maybe it's useful, so we are going to put, I don't know, here, for example. Okay, I'm going to keep this one. So this is going to be our first material. Okay, then I'm going to move with this one. Okay, this one is a little bit more complicated. Okay, and I'm going to show you every aspect of uh, the map. Okay, so as you can see, we start here with a base fill layer. Okay, I have another one here for, because maybe we want the same color. Okay, the same material, but we want it in different color variation. Okay, so first of all is to add some texture over it. So it's done with a plastic grainy material that you can find on Substance. Then is just in height, okay, with the mask editor and some grunge paint scratches, etc. And then other layer more to add these big spots to have more variation over it. Maybe this one is too much. You can put it or not put it. I'm going to turn off for now. Okay. Then I add the color variation. Okay. And as you can see, it's going to add me a few extra tones. Not normally is that kind of thing on plastic. Okay. But for this one, I think is cool to put it. Okay. Then we continue with the rough variation. And as you can see, it's adding a little bit more of that spots. Okay. Again, with mask and levels control, then the edges. On the edges, we have roughness and normal. We can put more height map over it if we want. Okay. To have more. So it's like this kind of used plastic. Okay. This is something that I'm going to use for this one, but this base could be perfectly used. Okay. I will put it for this one and I'm going to turn off later. Okay. I also add this with the same mask, another one to add a little bit of variation over the break parts. Then this all layer that is going to add different scratches, over the surface to give a super nice extra variation. Okay. And I'm going to turn on, turn off, turn on, turn off. As you can see, there's a lot of things going on right now. I will put it on roughness too to put it to take a look what it's doing. So why this kind of mass, and why this decision? Okay, so for example, the dirt, the scratches and all that kind of thing is normally going on the surfaces where the piece is is going to scratch with the belts, or I'm going to put the belts 1 second. Belts and attachments. Okay, so it's where this metal is going to take connection, have connection with this piece. The accumulation of the dirt is going to be inside of the edges that you can do it with the cavity. Okay, but that's something for later. This is going to be like our base material, so we will have different ways of do this because for example here I have this one, but I also can add the all layer. Okay, to have more variation over it. Okay, so it's a used plastic. This is more damaged plastic in some kind of way. Okay, and now I'm going to add a little bit of add a contrast. Okay, to just take down a little bit the luminosity and sharpen to point it out. All of this I will just a little bit of, it's just a touch. Okay, for the next plastic material, I created this one. Okay, that we'll put it like this. Okay. So what I have here? Okay, so I have a plastic glossy base. Okay, the cool one of this is the masks more than other thing. I have again a base fill layer, color variation. Okay, I have dark cavities, white spots, scratches, more scratches, fingerprints. Okay, maybe the scale of this one should be a little bit smaller. Okay. You can see here the difference here. Okay. All of this is, adding value. Here is a fill layer uh, with hate and metal because, you know, it's plastic, but we can add a little bit of metal if we want it, but not for this. Okay. And what's more, okay, first I'm going to with this. So the mask. Okay, so I created a mask with a mask editor. Okay, and then I started to add value to the mask that we target in the previous video. Okay, that is going to be this mask. Okay, as you can see, it's just affecting with a texture and some work on the curvature. You know, and with the texture to make it add a little bit more of breaks over the curvature. Okay, so it's doing this mask. Okay, and the cool thing is that you can come here and modify in real time. I want less, I want more. Okay, I'm going to put it like this. And the cool thing, okay, so I created an anchor point. You know, remember that is with add anchor point here. Okay, and I put it plastic one, so it's taking all these masks and put it like you know as example. Okay, and now is right now is I put it these two. Okay, I'm going to turn off this one. So this is like a base plastic because I want this to be something that is going on over other material. Okay, so even I can put this one, So as you can see, it's working over the previous material. Even if I go here on color selection and add this one, is giving me both materials. Okay, so I have one. This one is more roughness, and this is less roughness. Okay, and we have here like is a more complex, even more complex material. Okay, I'm going to turn off right now, but we can put it on metal, like kind of uh, a gun or something like that. Like it's a piece of metal, but it's covered in plastic. That kind of situation. I'm going to put this one. Okay, and now what I did here. What I did here is use the mask, the anchor point, sorry, of the plastic 01 created here. Okay, and I have a couple of high pass levels, and I put it the same mask. I can't I can put it the same mask as a field to just have the border out of the shape. And as you can see, it's not that much, but it's just a little bit extra, you know. So it's just working over the positive space of the mask, you know. Like right now I have just a simple color. I can turn off heat map or put more heat map, you know. It's adding some kind of thing here, you know. Maybe here is a mess, but in some parts it's working pretty cool. But you know, the cool thing about this is that you can go here, duplicate it. I'm going to add more variation. Okay, I'm going to put something more saturated, and then going to go in here, and I'm going to add a new field. You know, this is the important part. Okay, the important no, sorry, the funny part. You know, where you can play with things, etc. You know, I'm going to change this fast. Okay, so like this, more balance, and I can go to put it on multiply, and as you can see, over the mask that I created, I have another extra layer of things going on, and these ones are just the same, you know. So the same mask, but in the other direction. Okay, because you know, plastic over clothing, you know, these sci-fi materials that we can see in sci-fi games, sometimes is working, you know. So I put it curvature mm, as a mask, and multiply and contrast, to give this, you know, this smooth thing over here. So I have here like 1, 2, 3, 4 layering over the same material. Okay, with just one mask, you know. So take care of that parts. I'm going to put it this one. You can see here is like super crazy going on things. Okay, starting to we're starting to have something uh, over the chat. Right now is maybe it's too much. Okay, but at the moment that we start to refine some things, you know, they takes time. This take hours to do it, to think how I'm going to approach it, how I'm going to uh what kind of colors I want, how I can do this. You can build everything just in color and later add the roughness. You can over all of this create more, you know, more mask. For example, in roughness, and I'm going to add um for example, another layer that is going to be sorry, that is going to be that is going to affect all the materials together, you know, not just one by one. This is something that we also have to keep in mind, but it's also something that I'm going to add later. Okay, but here you have a pointed of, you know, how can this kind of blend the materials together at some point. Okay, let's continue with the next video. Hello and welcome to the metal material video. Okay, so in this one, I'm going to show you how to create a basic metal material and more complex metal material. Okay, so right now, what I have here, you know, is just this couple of layers. Okay, let me show you. Okay, so it's a fill layer. Okay, with the metallic almost on on white. Okay, and with the roughness on 0.3. Okay, so and then here I added variation in the color and the metalness, as you can see here. Okay, you can see metalness is almost white and the roughness have some kind of variation, but it's pretty dark. Okay, I can also put like this and put metallic and put this little bit more of metallic. Okay, so what's more, so I have a rough variation here, you know, so add more value into the roughness. Okay, is with a basic layer that I have with less opacity. Okay, but it's a thing that we can add or not, you know. But it's to give you the example of different roughness variations. Okay, then I have the dirt that is kind of is a colored uh, fill layer with a dirt mask. Okay, and a warp on it, as you can see here. Then I have damage. Okay, then the damage is causing these kind of things over. Okay, maybe the scale right now is not the best one. Okay, the scale of the detail, but and then I have color variation that is going to be better to see here. Why? Okay, sorry. It's not affecting. I don't know. Ah, sorry, guys. Ah, sorry. I have all of that deactivated. So a little bit of color variation, and also something that I always do it at this one. Sorry, I forgot to put it. So maybe it's, again, the scales are not the correct one. You can see here that the metal have some kind of colors on it. Then I have the dust, to add more value to the color and the roughness. Let's turn off this one for now. Okay. But the normally is to have greens and blues over the metal. So we can add here directly a fill and put a nice crunch. Maybe not. Let's try something like this one, the galvanic large. Put some tiling over it, put this balance, and then play with the opacity and duplicate it. You can use other one, but I'm going to use the same one. And I'm going to put click here on the seed to have a different. I'm going to put more this blue. Okay, so in the color, we're looking something, I can we can see something, but really in the shaded material is not, we're not looking that much. Okay. So before the dust, I prepared these few extras. This will be like all the edges with a more clean metal. This one is pure white. And why this? Because the the surfaces are intersecting on the edges, so it's normally to have that kind of thing going on. Okay. And also I added this kind of accumulation here, as you can see here in the base color. Okay. It's done with the ambient occlusion. Oh no, sorry, with the dirt mask. Okay. And also I added this part over here. Okay. So let me show you what I did with this. So I create a mask. I created this mask. Okay. It's a little bit complex, and I create a anchor point. Okay. And there's nothing here. Then I used the mask to create this. So we can have a rusted, more rusted metal, you know. Um, that is, is with some fill layers, with some, rust noise. Rust, this can be founded here on Sustan Painter. Okay. Also added here a height map to have this, like is, breaking the surface a little bit. Okay. And I also added this. Okay. And things are starting to looking a little bit better. This is with the same mask. Okay. I put it a blur and levels and break it with a few grunge maps, but what I'm doing is the interior of the mask is not getting affected, and it's getting affected the edges, with a little bit of blur. So it's giving us this orange thing over there. Okay. That is doing, these kind of materials are super cool to do. I also added a height map layer that, I can control here, so I can have super crazy thing or more smaller, to have more definition. Okay. I did it pretty fast, but it should be something similar on your end. It's quite cool. And I also added here a bronze statue material, because why not? To have this part here. So it's again with the same mask as this. I did all of this. Okay. So because the same, I take in the mask as base, I put it some blur, I multiply the mask again, and we can create this kind of thing. So we can have a lot of control over the parts. And as you can see, it's, adding more information, more value to the thing, and the color is make it look more amazing. I will put it super fast HSL here. I'm going to change the hue to, something more, or maybe just put some saturation and more bright over it, Okay. And just doing this. Or maybe, yeah, go darker. So this is it. Okay. Regarding the metallic material, this is super complex. There are certain parts that you can use just a couple of things and it's going to work, but it's to, for example, let's put some, if I'm not wrong, there's some material here, like, look, this one. just to try, here for you guys. I don't want anything of this. I just want the hate map. I'm going to put it, yeah, like super less, or maybe this is not the right choice. Maybe this one is not the right choice, but mm, uh, mm, 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 maybe I can have something more like is done by hand, so it's not industrial like what I was planning to do here. So I mean, all of these you can do it on a skull, but you also can do it here for uh, for your character. Okay, so I have the plastic one here that we did it, and now I'm just going to take this one here, and again I'm going to add a mask with color selection. I'm going to take the bolts. Okay, I'm going to pick this part. Is this for the same UV? No. Okay, I'm going to click this one. Okay, and I'm going to have this one, and going to add a paint, and super fast, super fast. I'm going to add, I don't know, this piece here. Okay, so what I have to do right now is to copy this mask, go into plastic, paste into mask, add levels, and inverted. So it's not affecting the height map of the plastic is not affecting the metalness. Okay. Hello and welcome to the fabric material video. In this video, I'm going to show you a few materials that I created here. Okay. The first of all is one that I grabbed directly from here from Sustan Painter. I don't know if it's really from Sustan Painter library or it's downloaded from somewhere, but this kind of materials works pretty well. Okay, the next one is artificial leather that is with the artificial leather basic material that is included here on Sustan. I adjusted with some kind of levels on the height. Okay, I have this. Okay, important. I also added some variation on the color. I'm going to add a little bit on the roughness. And here I have this kind of, edge, broken edge. Some is quite classic. It's a looks very complex mask, but it's not that much. It's because I copy from other material. I think. And then the other ones are the same mask, but doing some kind of blur to have intersection with the other material. Okay, so it's just a simple one. Then I have this leather. Okay, that is not it's not working well with this kind of sci-fi character, but let me show you. Okay, so what I have here is a height map that I imported from is from an old library. but it's just someone you can find something similar super fast. And then I use it as mask for help define and add more value to the material. So I use the leather stylizer as base because have a few things here going on, and then I move it into add more value with color variation. Okay, and I start to add it uh, on the inside of the on the wrinkles using the curvature map and the mask of the map. Okay, so I'm adding more value and more value and more value and more value, and then I added this one. There is a fabric burlap, and I just adjust the metal edge wear to have like all the edges uh like they are break some kind of way. And other kind of thing that I like to do when I'm working with leathers is we can do it with just with this one. Okay, right now, don't you know 1 second. Okay, maybe it's better to do it mm, with other kind of brush, but right now as example is working. Okay, so I always like to go into some custom by hand breaks in this kind of material. Okay, because it's not just only masks and it's over. It's a matter also to invest on what you're doing. So I'm going to take more or less the same value. I'm going to take off roughness like in the inside, because it's the inside of the materials is where the accumulation of the dirt and not roughness materials are interacting each other. And I also going to add kind of height map. Okay, like this. So we are adding, because I know I show you this like this, but it's really happening like this. you know or maybe we can go that vibe color, maybe go like this. Maybe we can go even with maybe more saturated even. Okay, this is just an example. Then I have this with the fabric woodland map material that you can find here on Substance. I added a couple of just few things, like I did a copy, I put another color, and I like break out with some maps and add some dirt and a folder with some kind of layering, to add a little bit of dirt over. And the next one is the fabric synthetic dots. So this is more or less the same, but it's just a matter of color variations, surface detail, etc. Okay, and now this is the basic, a little bit advanced of how is everything. You have some issues, just take a look of the video again. I think I'm not losing something, or remember that I can't provide all the information in just a few videos of all the software and all the things that you can do with it. Okay, so just to finish this, I'm going to put the metal and the plastic on. I'm going to put a black mask. No, sorry, black mask here. No, what we're going to do is I have to repeat the mask with color selection because I lose it. Okay, so I'm going to do it super fast. Not this one, my friend. This one over here. Okay. So now what I can do is start to add some masks again. Like for example, I'm going to go here for this one. I'm going to add the fabric woodland just here and here, and for example here. Okay, and as you can see, things are starting to working. Even it's not the final material that I'm going to use, but something is happening. Okay, one of the other things that you should keep in mind is to copy your mask and go to your fabric, because we don't want to have this, the plastic material going on over your other materials. So what we are going to do is paste into mask, add the levels, inverted, and then we have the clean metal here. Okay, so yeah, so this is the fundamentals, and let's continue with the next videos. Okay, in this extra video, I'm going to show you a few things more. Okay, like for example, the emissive. To put emissive materials on substance, you have to go to click on texture set settings. Maybe you have it here or here. Okay, and here in the channels, click on the plus and add emissive. It's going to give you this kind of thing. Okay, are going to give us the opportunity to make emissive material. So I'm going to go for the ice, and it's going to apply an emissive on it. You can have also like duplicate it, and I'm going to put something more like this, and you can do these kind of things. Okay, so this is one of the simple ones. The other one is the opacity. Okay, for the opacity, we have to change a couple of things. So we have to go to texture settings also and click. Sorry, no. First, we have to go here on shader settings, and here we have to change the shader to this one, PBR metal rough with alpha blending. Okay. So what this one is going to give us is the opportunity to click here and add opacity. Okay, and I'm going to put super fast piece in opacity. The shadow in substance is going to do weird things, but it's okay for now. So I'm going to click on opacity, and as you can see, when I turn down the opacity, it appears the shadow is doing weird things here. Okay, but now I can add a black mask and just put, for example, whatever piece is taking first. Okay, so this part, for example, yeah. All this part here on opacity. And looks weird, but it's working. Okay, what to do with this, why opacity, etc. For kind of things like clothing, and you can apply the same things like a dirt, for example, a grunge map. over it. Come on. Okay. And it's going to work. So you can give breaks over the clothing, etc. Okay. The next thing is maybe you don't have a supercomputer or you want something, to be able to move more things. So here in the general properties, I don't know if normally it's in 4K, but you can change the size of the maps to 2K or even 1K, and it's going to look different here because of course you are having less resolution to work on it. But the cool thing is that you can start working in some kind of in some part of the textures, and later, when you are more or less start to end something, you can put it on 4K and see how it's gone. Or in the other way, you work on 4K one of the pieces, you finish it, and then you put it in 1K or 256 56 to have the color and have the general aspect of what you're working, but without big stress over your computer. Okay. And the other thing that I want to show you is one of the simplest ones. So is I have a folder here with all these materials. Okay, but imagine that it's just a one material that I want to save for, because I did this super cool black plastic thing. Okay, and I wanted to apply in other parts of the chapter, but I have everything separated in UVs. So instead of and you want to use it maybe later in other project. Okay, so instead of Control C and Control D over the different layers, what we can do is, for example, here going to put learn square test. Okay, and we can create a smart material here, and it's going to save as a preset material over our library. Okay, so it's super cool because we can just apply in other kind of things, and always will be as we have it here. So of course we have to probably rework on masks and something like that, but all the preset and all the thing that we work it is around.